everyone, and welcome to my channel. We're doing a different but a little bit of the same, like birds of the feather, reading about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. And the reason why I'm doing this is Blake came on my radar very, very early last year when she decided she was going to get on the bandwagon and have a go about Photoshopped with the Where's Kate thing. So since then I have been sort of picking up things, and I'm thinking, oh, she's definitely a mean girl. She's very, very sarcastic on interviews, and then ta-da, all of a sudden we see about all the smear campaigns that she is actually playing the victim, and Amberheard herself, the original, came out and supported her straight away. And I'm thinking, oh Lord, here we go. We got another one that's like, really, here, hold my beer kind of thing, hence the thumbnail. So fast track to a lawsuit that's been lodged, and please don't think for 1 minute that I condone what she is saying. I'm not. If that is the case, then yes, something needs to be attended, and but there's always two sides to the story, and I had no idea who this Baldoni was, so she's definitely elevated. But in the meantime, Ryan Reynolds got involved, and that was extremely disappointing. Now, of course, she elevated herself, no different than this one's wife, as well as Amber Heard. Yes, they've elevated through marriage only, because they weren't of any consequence or significance. And to be fair, I actually thought that Ryan Reynolds and Scarlett Johansson were quite a good couple, but then all of a sudden they're divorced, and this one came on the scene. So I'm thinking, Anyway, so when Ryan Reynolds was doing the Wolverine one, and of course I am a fan of Hugh Jackman, so I do follow Deadpool, yes. A nice Paul came in, and very, very classic Ryan Reynolds sarcasm, and saying things that you probably shouldn't say anyway, especially if you're going down the woke side of things. And it's about Lady Paul, and yes, Blake is Lady Paul. So I'm going, okay, well, that's interesting. But in the meantime, I'm also seeing a lot of blinds that are saying that, well, hang on, these two are definitely the same. They seem to be the same temperament. He's no angel by far from the previous reports of the crew. It doesn't appear that he's an ideal director, allegedly, either. So you've got a couple of clashes here already, possibly very ego-based. We'll see what the cards say. And I am, like I said, I'm disappointed about Ryan Reynolds, but it doesn't surprise me when this one's wife popped up to the Soho Pink party that Blake herself was there as well. So cards, let's find out what the story is between Justin and Blake. And Stardust cards, double-sided, one tarot and the other oracle. So the first one is a star, and it's a renewal. So there you go, classic Hollywood, just wanting to be a star. I'm turning it over to put it down. It's caution, watch their back. Of course, I don't think anyone in Hollywood is true. I mean, they're all actors anyway, and as much as everyone has their own favourite actor, I mean, at the end of the day, they are acting. So in real life, how would you know? How would you know that they're not acting and they are who they are? And I believe that a lot of them morph into their characters, or a lot of their characters are who they are on the screen. You've got alliances here, Two of Cups. Two of Cups. Oh dear. All right, the story, a directed narrative. The Two of Cups is a very, very new emotional relationship. Sometimes it can be an engagement one. Now, of course, these two are married, they have partners, whatever, so it's nothing like that. But cups are all about emotions. The Two of Cups is a new partnership. It's alliances. Okay, let's just keep going. But it looks like that we've got something. We've come across something already. The story as directed narrative. You've also got corrupted and bad choices, and that is the Queen of Cups, and she is a socialite. So let me just have a look. No, it's not Blake, but there's some Queen of Cups involved here, trying to, or not trying, but actually, yeah, she's basically a socialite. What can I say? The On the oracle side, the way you've got here is corrupt and bad choices. A lot of these cards, because they're not red reverse, can also be the reverse side of things. So the fact that you've got a socialite here as well, and you've got the Two of Cups and some sort of narrative, I would say that someone, somewhere, emotions, some sort of emotional thing was happening during filming. Spite D involved. Okay, and that is the Ace of Cups for love. Oh dear. Here we go. I think we've stumbled across something here. Numb, avoid feelings and regret, and Five of Cups. Yeah, okay. All right. Just what I thought. Just what I thought. You've got some sort of an emotional thing happening here. Now, the film itself, I wouldn't watch because it would be a trigger thing. Okay, I don't know where they're going with that type of thing. I don't see that as entertainment. There's enough of it in the real world without having to, pay money and go and see it up on the big screen. I have no idea why someone would want to produce something like that. Oh, sorry. On saying that, how how much do characters get involved and in touch with their feelings when it's 24/7, or it's, well, I mean, I'm sure they went home to their partners, right? But, at least 12 hours a day, and then texting, and then, after hours and whatever, not only just on the set, but after hours. Very, very intense, very intense. I have a feeling, and I could be wrong, especially with the Ace of Cups, but I have a feeling that this was some sort of emotional thing that seeped through. And maybe they were, let's just say, talking a little bit too long about things, talking a little bit too close, talking, looking a little bit too long. I'm pausing because, yeah, that's the kind of energy I'm getting. Some people would call it an emotional affair, which means that there's no a physical contact at all. A lot of this kind of stuff happens over the internet, I believe, but it's someone that's built up emotions, not intentionally, and no physically touching kind of thing, despite the fact that obviously there was, some sort of involvement on camera. I'm not saying off camera, but it would appear that they then regretted their feelings with the Five of Cups. So let's just keep going. You've got different, not what you expect exactly with the story. With the story, bought start, Page of Coins. Then you've got the Fool coming in, being naive and everything about it. And you've got independent, alone, and separate. And you've got in debt, Six of Coins. And that is implicit, dragged into it. So the defense would be say that someone was implicated in, and they were dragged into this mess. someone wants to go and act alone, the socialite kind of thing. She wants to be alone. This would indicate that once the emotional feelings were known, then all of a sudden there was regret, and very, very early into, well, not very, very early, because there was a writer's strike and everything like that, but maybe because they had to break and then they came back, all the emotional side things have gone. They had regrets, and I'm going to say they because it always takes two, and you've got the Two of Cups right up the top anyway. They had some sort of regret about it, and then when they did end up getting back together again to continue with the film, all of a sudden everything just started, and it was all about money. It turned very, very let's just say it turned from all emotions and feelings, and it was all about money. All about money. All right, okay, so you've got the facilitator and the Knight of Wands, and you've got sinister, dark motives. Similar, same umbrella, and that's the Six of Cups. So that is someone from the past. I would say the sinister motives would be allegedly entertainment purposes only. Blake well and truly knew what his history was from a previous movie. They weren't going to get on. She has used that and amplified it on the PR side of things. Let's just keep going. Yep, Page of Swords on the PR. Use your voice, absolutely. And favourable, good outcome. And that's exactly what her plan was. So I'm going to keep it on tarot because that actually came through before I saw it. Yes, that's exactly right. So what we've got here, especially with a group here, a group involvement, 3, living incognito. Okay, not too sure if Ryan Reynolds knows about this alleged emotional feelings here. So what I'm getting from these cards, right from the get-go, they got together. There was, like I said, being together a little bit too long, texting a little bit too long, whatever. There was some sort of emotional thing with the Two of Cups coming up. Then something happened, and it was probably caused from the writer's strike, because there was a big break in all films. As we know, Ryan himself was working with Hugh at the time for that Deadpool. So there was a big break, and then when they did get back together again, I would say they both regretted their feelings. So not only did they go from some sort of an emotional connection, okay, they went straight about money. And then the PR started. She was well and truly aware of the past. There was dark motives, and or the attack on the internet or through the PR, which is definitely your Page of Swords. She was getting her voice out first. Baldoni didn't say anything at all. It looked like there was 3 involved here, and the third person I will call would be Ryan Reynolds. So what she's done is that she's gone back home each time, and she started to report, and all of a sudden Ryan, if he wasn't involved previously, all of a sudden halfway through his movie he decided he was going to do something and use Nice Pool, as well as alleged meetings and intimidation and or using his star status, whatever. I'm not, like I said, I'm disappointed, but at the end of the day, I guess, these people, Johnny Depp supported Amber first up. The gingerhead one hasn't stopped. So complicit, hasn't stopped. Birds of a feather. So why would I be disappointed really when I think, well, you're just supporting your wife, right? When it comes to Ryan Reynolds. But it would appear that Ryan is a third party in this debacle, in this mess. So you've got the King of Swords here coming through. You've got high rank. Wonderful. Attachment surrounded by negative. Exactly. Exactly. The King of Swords here, a high rank, is Justin. He is an Aquarian. The star came out, that was his card as well. And yeah, it was basically his movie, allegedly entertainment purposes only. And it does appear that third party involvement has come in. And yeah, the Emperor here, the authority, wants out, exit plan. Okay. What I would say here is with the Emperor, are all these people with WME? Please let me know in the comments. If they are, then that will be Ari. And if they're not, the Emperor would be the person who is in charge of the film, the movie Mongols themselves. Now, if it's Sony, if it's Warner, or whoever it is, they definitely have supported Ryan Reynolds at the moment. And it would appear, despite the fact of consensus, even with Blind, that Reynolds and Lively aren't that liked. I don't think that the movie Mongols are ready to upset Ryan anytime soon. You now have the King of Coins, okay, the King of Pentacles, and that's wealth and status. And on that, it's a rebirth in a new form. So when we look into this kind of thing, this is also some sort of person that's extremely high up. It could be the CEO of the company. It's a very, very rich person, extremely rich actually. He's probably involved in some sort of negotiations. He could have advised, and I'll put allegedly, he could have advised the King of Swords to, back off a little bit. It's not a good idea. Just, basically give her what she wants kind of thing. No different than this one's wife, what she wants, she gets. That's the kind of energies I'm getting about what's happening. I don't think that any of them wanted to upset the third party involvement, which allegedly, entertainment purposes only, to me is Ryan Reynolds coming in. The King of Swords could also be a lawyer as well. Now you've got the Seven of Swords, and you've got acquisition to obtain or can. The Seven of Swords, of course, is not a very, very good card. It's a very, very bad strategic side of things. There's lots of lies attached to it. There's lots of deception. There's, a thief. You could even say that going through what some of the defense paperwork as, his movie was stolen from him, allegedly entertainment purposes only. He didn't have a say in the matter at all, and it was complete control here with the Chariot. The Chariot on the other side of the oracle is selected and handpicked. So when that comes to play, again, we've got some really, really heavy cards coming in. I would say that they want to break through the barriers and just get on with it. It's got a little bit messy now. I would say the movie Mongol and the agents, if they're not both with WME, then the agents are trying to sort something out behind the scenes. According to the cards, and I'm sticking with it, it was some sort of emotional thing that they all realized. And we have the puppet master pulling strings, and there's the Wheel of Fortune here. So when you've got when you're sitting on the wheel and all they want is good fortune, it did originally, when they came back from the rioters' strike, it was about money. And I think people are trying to rein it in with the Chariot. They're trying to rein in things. They're going to go, hang on for a minute. Sure, let's break down these barriers. There's two walls up here now, and it's tit for tat, and two can play at this game kind of thing. And I think that you've got a couple of people trying to put out the fires kind of thing, but there's still a puppet master pulling strings. important, better situation, and that is your Six of Swords. Again, this is all about moving into calmer waters. They are trying very, very hard. I don't know if it will go to court. It's in court now, but will it go to trial? I don't know. Working behind the scenes at the moment, they're trying to diffuse everything. It's not helping the movie. Mind you, like I said, it's not the kind of movie that I would go to get entertained anyway. Disappears, escapes, and unseen. All right, that's your Nine of Wands. That's exhaustion. I think Jason's had enough. Justin has had enough. He's over it. He doesn't want to continue on the way that it is happening. But of course, he's going to have to defend himself because he had no choice. And this is Forsen had no choice. And this is your Four of Coins. So he was a target. Yep, Five of Wands, conflict. He was targeted. He was forced. He's had no choice. I do believe that she wanted to be a producer. He said in a podcast, I'll throw in allegedly, but he said in the podcast that he will just write off so she can get her podcast ticket or whatever. He will just agree to basically whatever she wants, just to try and move on, especially when it comes to the cost, because things were escalating. And of course that the studio holding knobs, the big people all go down on his side of things to say, hey, why is this all costing? So that's very, very interesting to know that's what's happening with the case, because it is starting to pick up in between, everything else. It is still a bit of a conversation. I'm hoping that it can be sorted out behind closed doors, because despite the fact of no one knowing, or I didn't know who Baldoni was, I definitely don't like what Blake has done, despite the fact that they are both probably as bad as each other by the sounds of it. If it's not true, then that's, she should be cancelled, right? If it's not true. If it is true, then he has got major problems. So, I think they're trying very, very hard to try and sort it out. How did it start? Letting emotions get away. It was emotions that started it all during the first part. Then the writer's strike went through. They came back and it was all about money and complete exploitation and smear campaigns from then onwards, and intimidation and using someone's status that is a lot higher than both of them put together. Allegedly, entertainment purposes only. And on that note, let me know if you would like me to continue to read on this case. It's just something different. It's birds of a feather when it comes to starlets. Let's just say starlets, because, I never followed any of them, never followed Heard, never followed Lively, definitely didn't even know who Markle was, and they've all elevated themselves into the spotlight through their husbands. So, yeah. All right. I'll see you again real soon. Bye.